Hey YouTubers, I wanted to make a little Friday afternoon video. I just managed to battle my way through the beginning of rush hour, Friday night rush hour traffic, which is always a treat, to get back home with a few little scores I got on my most recent trip to Star Performance to pick up some parts. I think I touched briefly on previous videos where camshaft manufacturers, Lanati does it, Howard's Racing does it, Trick Flow does it, Crane. Most every large name brand camshaft manufacturer will have a certain percentage or small portion of their camshafts they list in their catalogs. They don't actually make them. Basically, they're just camshaft grinds that are mass produced by, I'm just going to assume it's like Mellings or Elgin, or possibly there's one mother company that's making these, what I call Whitebox, off the shelf, commonly produced camshaft profiles. But what you'll find is companies like Lanati will get these camshafts that people like Mellings and Elgin and Summit Racing that have been selling as like their low buck entry level cams, and they'll start calling them the Lanati Bare Bones cam series or cam line. Basically, it's those mass produced cams that they buy white box from some other manufacturer, and they put their Lanati name on it and make a few dollars, which is fine. I mean, that's the American way, I guess. Find something that you can make some money on and sell it. So, if you're really careful, a lot of the cams that are more popular make good power, and people are paying, $300 and $400 for a cam. In this circumstance, not too indifferent from my previous video about the old school factory hydraulic roller setup, I went shopping for a nice sounding cam to put in my what will be turbo LS build. Is going to start off as just a LS build without the turbo, so I can at least get it running, get all my fuel system lined out, get a bass tune on it, yada yada yada. But I searched a lot online. I did some cam spec, comparing specifications for camshafts. A big offender, two offenders that I've found so far, is Texas Speed and Trick Flow, are two companies right off the top of my head who purchased these white box cams. And I'm not saying that all of their cams are done this way, because they do have some proprietary custom grinds that they put their name on. And, I'm not saying that they don't do their own cams, or at least have someone grind them some cams with their own specifications. I'm just saying that they both sell white box cams from a mass producer, put their name on it, and more than double the price. Well, no, I take that back. It's probably not doubling, but they significantly increase the price so they can make some money on their good name. So I'm like, okay. So I've been, selectively searching for some affordable aftermarket cams for my LS build. And if you've done this maneuver, you're looking at, $370 up to $400 range. Most LS cams that are worth having are pretty pricey. I mean, they're not cheap, let's just say that. So I had found what I thought was a reasonable size cam, because keep in mind, the smaller LS engines like the 4.8, you don't want to overcam them because they lose a lot of low end power really bad when you put too much cam in them. And without running the turbo to make up for that power, I was basically looking at staying in a certain size range on my cam selection. So I started doing a lot of just YouTube searches on cammed 4.8s. I found some good information on like 4.8 builds with the factory LS6 cam, yada yada. Well, I decided, since I'm starting out without a turbo, I want to find an affordable cam that sounded good, had a good exhaust note, had made a little bit of a gallop, and ran good. So in my searching, I kept finding these cams that were like 220, let's see, 220/224. So the 50 thousandths number was 220 on the intake, 224 on the exhaust. Most of which I found were ground on a 112 lobe separation angle, which is significantly tighter than the factory's normally, like 115 to 120 something, LSA. So when you start tightening up that LSA, it starts giving a little bit better exhaust note and a little bit of a gallop. So I started looking online, doing searches on videos, because at this point I was looking to make a little bit more power, but I mostly was looking for a good sounding cam, something that I could enjoy driving down the road, cruising through the parking lots, whatever. But I also didn't want too big of a cam so that I had to run anything bigger than a 2200 stall converter, because until I get the time and the money, mostly the money, to do a T56 or a built T5 swap, I'm going to be stuck with the Turbo 350 that's on my bench with a 2200 stall. So anyway, I went to Star and picked up three items. I got my Elgin 220. It's 220 at 224 at 50 thousandths, 575 lift on both sides on a 112 lobe separation angle. So it has a nice strong little lope to it. Hits good. Should pull good vacuum. In that 4.8 will make excellent power to 6,500 plus RPM, especially with my ported heads. So I just wanted you guys to see that these kind of camshafts are available. You can basically purchase this exact same camshaft from Trick Flow or Texas Speed, probably some other manufacturers that I didn't even have time to look up. But you can purchase this exact same camshaft from them for $300 to $400. Okay? It's guaranteed. You start comparing cam cards, lift, duration, all the pertinent information for the camshafts. This is the same cam. I mean, there are knockoffs that don't follow the original or the name brand offerings to the letter, but there's many cams that are offered by big name companies that are just basically mass-produced Whitebox cams that they put their name on and mark them up. So this falls into that category. It is the LS series, and it is going to make a good running, good sounding cam for that 4.8. I do believe this cam would work decent with a turbo boosting up to maybe 10 pounds or so. But if you start getting too much more boost than that, then I think you'd probably want to go to a more boost-friendly camshaft to grind with less, what I call overlap. Like, you're going to have a tighter control over your opening and closing events so you can make more power. So anyway, I'm going to have to make this a two-part video because I've floundered my way, sorry about that, floundered my way into a 9-minute video already, and I haven't even unboxed my other two items. So let me get this thing loaded up, talking about my camshaft score for $258 from Star Performance, and I will finish this video on the next one.